House hunters and first-time homebuyers, are you nervous about looking at homes during COVID? I wouldn't be surprised if you were. Today I'm going to go through the 3.5 phases, maybe, of seeing homes so that you can get out there, get access, and more importantly, be safe. And I'm going to show you how you can get in when others can't. Shane here, your online real estate guy in the greater Palm Springs area. And I'm a local real estate broker, and over the last 15 years, I've helped hundreds of buyers, sellers, and investors find their dream home, build wealth, or just get a fresh start. Got it? Super. Let's get started. Now, for those of you who haven't been out there house hunting before, let me bring you up to speed. Now, if you've purchased a home in the last few years, we'll call those, the good old days, right? When you can literally just stroll right into someone's home, camp out in their living room, go through the medicine cabinets at a moment's notice. Good times. Not no more. Due to the pandemic, sellers have put extra precautions in place for their protection, but really yours also. So let's take a look at the old way, and then we're going to get into what's going on today. So prior to COVID, you typically reach out to your friendly local real estate agent. They would set up the appointment and you'd go. Things that would slow down that process were usually tenants or friends or family in town, or some overdue repairs, or the home couldn't be shown for a period of time. So now for some of the higher end or more sensitive properties, there may have been a little extra effort to verify your purchasability, and that is, do you actually have the cash or the loan approval for that sweet, sweet McMansion? And also helps keep the looky-loos, the tire kickers, and the curious neighbors from going through your unmentionables while commenting on your taste in Star Wars memorabilia. I got some of that. Fast forward to today, and securing a showing time on a hot property is almost like you're running for Congress or marrying a Kardashian. Much more scrutiny is placed on to select out those previously mentioned looky-loos, tire kickers, and curious neighbors, leaving only room for the most, ready, willing, and, you got it, able buyers. The thought is, less traffic, the less chance of spreading the pandemic. So, how does this all play out? Today's new 3.5 phases of getting into favorite properties, along with my tip that you'll want to stay for, and that's going to help you get in where others can't get in. Here we go. Phase 1, or the first thing you'll need to do prior to scheduling a showing is, can you guess? That's right. Watch the online virtual tour, right? That 3D walkthrough. I've been doing 3D walkthrough tours for years, and we're just starting to see the technology being applied much more often these days. Now, the difference, there is a difference between a virtual tour, right, and a photo slideshow. Photo slideshow is not a virtual tour. Nope, it's not. Not ever going to convince me it is. No way. Hashtag prove me wrong. Now, a photo slideshow that pans across the images is also not a 3D tour. A true 3D walkthrough should allow you to literally walk through the property, get a feel for the layout, the space, the twists and turns, all that good stuff. And it's the next best thing to be in their life. So you can really decide if it's worth your time and effort to go see the property. I'll put a link below of what that looks like. Now you're going to say, but Shane, what if there is no 3D walkthrough? Glad you asked. You can always ask your agent to do that for you. And here's where we insert the phase 1.5. And that's a walkthrough video or a video call of the property. In fact, there may be one available that the seller's agent didn't post for whatever reason. Now, if it's not, it's much less effort and coordination to swing out to a property as an agent and to get that video, than to coordinate all the parties for a full showing. So I'll put down a link below to a recent walkthrough I did, and you can see kind of what that looks like. All right, phase 2. The second thing is not an uncommon request. In today's hot market, it's something you should already have done anyway. And that is, prepare your frowny face. Yes, it's the all-important lender pre-approval letter and or proof of funds. That's right. If you want a leg up on getting into see homes, especially hot listings, you better have a current letter and proof of funds sitting with your agent. In today's hot market, you'll need this anyway, and frankly, it helps set you apart from the competition even before you think about putting in an offer. It's powerful to have your agent be able to send that right over when setting an appointment instead of humming and hawing, only to call you back, ask the question they were too afraid to ask you up front. Do you have a letter? They're doing you a real disservice in today's market. On to phase 3. But first, does it make sense? Are sellers being cautious and fair to help minimize traffic and possibly the spread of COVID? Or are they just favoring the more motivated, qualified buyers, leaving everyone else out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Stick around for the last steps to securing an in-person showing during COVID. And on to number 3. Boom. This is the easy one. In fact, if you do love that home and open escrow with a loan, you'll be doing lots of this. Can you guess? Yeah, it's paperwork. Yay! Says no one ever. Yep, forms, and more forms. In California, we are form happy. Someone gets sued, we get a new form. In fact, our forms change twice a year. If your agent shows up with something in triplicate for you to sign, you'd bet it's probably not current. So we fire up the old e-sign program and you agree to a whole bunch of stuff, and here are some of the high points. There is a risk of exposure due to COVID, and that you'll follow all city and state stay-at-home orders. That you don't have COVID, aren't around anyone who has COVID, and that if you do get COVID within 14 days of seeing the property, you must tell your agent. That you'll wash and sanitize your hands before and after entry. That you'll avoid touching commonly used items like knobs, switches, etc. That you will wear a face covering and that you will practice physical distancing. And finally, that you will take all the recommended and reasonable precautions to protect yourself and others from exposure to COVID, and that you're assuming the risk of entering the property. So, just, all that. And so after all that, you did the virtual tour, you sent in your pre-approval letter and proof of funds, you signed the coronavirus property entry advisory and declaration. Your agent has talked to the seller's agent, who talked to the seller, who talked to the tenant, who talked to the seller, who talked back to their agent, who called your agent to confirm the showing day and time so that once you arrive, you can don your full PPE and check out that home, which looked perfect online. Only to 5 seconds later say, I don't really like it. I know, we had to end on a little bit of humor. Well, there you have it. The showing process in the time of COVID. Virtual tour, pre-approval, proof of funds, and then the fun and excitement of checking out your new home or investment to build your future and your wealth. And frankly, COVID is tough business, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's forcing this whole industry to provide easier access to virtual tours, demanding our best clients not only be ready and willing, but also able for everyone's safety. So, what are your thoughts? Are you being too cautious or not enough? Let me know in the comments below. And feel free to subscribe or not. I mean, you're really just here to get some information, buy and sell a home, move on to the next big adventure. So, honestly, if you're cool, I'm cool. But do share this with anyone you know who's thinking of buying or selling and investing here in the greater Palm Springs area. Okay, my friends, my amigos, my shamigos, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to level up your real estate know-how. My team, my family, and I really appreciate it. For more, be on the lookout for an upcoming video on how COVID is affecting transactions once you're in escrow. Or, download one of my awesome free guides below and reach out if I can be of any help. Thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon.